Obasanjo drops small bombshell, fires back at Yoruba kings after he was asked to apologize. Wow. So, Obasanjo, after visiting Oyo State, the governor of Oyo State, um, while trying to inaugurate a road project, um, was reportedly, uh, he asked the traditional rulers that were at the occasion to stand up to greet the governor as a sign of respect of authorities. And that has created a lot of backlash. And now the Olu of Iwo, who was one of the traditional rulers at present, has asked the former president to apologize to the entire Yoruba nation and to the traditional rulers council, or face the wrath of the gods. And everybody has started, taking the same step. And in line with that, his former president's wife, the former president's wife, had to apologize on his behalf. And now Obasanjo has come out to spit fire. Let's hear what he has to say. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo has remained unyielding in his stance regarding the controversy surrounding the alleged disrespect shown by Oyo State traditional rulers to Governor Seyi Makinde. Now, the issue ignited a nationwide debate following an incident during the opening of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology College of Agriculture and Renewable Natural Resources in Isheyi, Oyo State, last Friday. Now, during the event, Chief Obasanjo took the podium to speak and was reportedly disappointed that the traditional rulers in attendance failed to honor Governor Makinde as he addressed the audience. And in response to this perceived affront, Obasanjo ordered all the traditional rulers to stand up, a move that has stirred outrage, especially in Yoruba land. So Luo of Iwo land, Oba Abdul Rashid Adewale Akombi, was among those who strongly criticized Obasanjo's action, describing them as condemnable. He emphasized that Yoruba traditional rulers are not subject to anyone's command and expressed his disappointment in those royal fathers who complied with Obasanjo's directive. So in the aftermath of the incident, a statement attributed to one Mrs. Taiwo Obasanjo, purportedly Chief Obasanjo's wife, circulated widely. The statement titled OBJs versus Oyo Kings, a plea for forgiveness, sought forgiveness on behalf of Chief Obasanjo. It implied that Obasanjo had acted out of frustration to reveal the traditional ruler's secret, bowing to him in the private. However, Chief Obasanjo's media aide Kehinde Akinyemi issued a counter statement on Monday in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Akinyemi clarified that Ms. Taiwo Martins, the author of the statement, is not Chief Obasanjo's wife, nor a member of the Obasanjo's family. He emphasized that only Chief Obasanjo or individuals officially delegated by him can speak on behalf of the Obasanjo family. So in the statement, Chief Obasanjo affirmed his unwavering position that the governor of his state holds the highest office in that state, and he stressed that the respect protocol and dignity associated with the office as mandated by the Constitution should not be denied. And any deviation from this, according to Obasanjo, would undermine the office and the Constitution itself. So the statement reads, the attention of former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has been drawn to a statement purportedly to be issued by a wife of the president with the photograph of one Ms. Taiwo Martins as the author of the statement. For the records, Ms. Martins has two children, Jowo and Bumi, for Chief Obasanjo, but to say emphatically that she is not his wife nor a member of the Obasanjo's family. Her posturing as Chief Obasanjo's wife is false and that of an impostor. Nobody makes statement on behalf of the Obasanjo family except Chief Obasanjo or people delegated by him to do so. It must be noted that the state of health of Miss Martins is known to all, and sundry, and whatever she says or does has nothing to do with Chief Obasanjo as an individual or Obasanjo or the Obasanjo's family as a whole. However, the former president has affirmed that he stood firmly, unapologetically, and uncompromisingly on the position that the governor of a state holds the highest office in the state. By that position, the respect, protocol, and dignity that must be given to the office by virtue of the Constitution must not be denied. To do otherwise is to deride the office and the Constitution. So what is happening here is that Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has remained resolute on what he did at Oyo State when he visited Makinde, and even the Miss Martins that came to say that she is Obasanjo's wife and has apologized on behalf of Obasanjo. She's on her own from this publication now. Obasanjo has come out to say, well, that woman has 2 children for me, but it's not my wife and it's not a member of my family, and so does not have any right to speak on my behalf. That is it. And what is being written here is that nobody speaks for Obasanjo. Obasanjo will either speak for himself or for his family, and those that he has delegated to speak for him are those that will speak for him. Otherwise, every other person that speaks is on his own. Is absolutely on his own. That is what he's saying here. So it means that I know that Obasanjo, being a former president and being a custodian of Nigerian Constitution, understands very well the difference between the office of a governor and the office of a traditional ruler. In the first place, I want to make reference to what happened at Kano State when the then governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, deposed the former emir of Kano, Emir Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi. And not till today, his deposed is deposed and nothing has happened, because the power to make a king in a state rests on the Constitution of Nigeria and rests on the governor of the state, or the governor of the state. So, and people are not seeing that. People are not making reference to that. People are just complaining that Obasanjo asked the Obas or the traditional rulers to stand up. But Obasanjo knows better. I know, because he was a custodian of the Constitution and he knows better than so many people. Yes, we know that the office of traditional rulers should not be desecrated. They are the eyes of the traditional gods in the land and should be given such accord them that respect. But when it comes to Nigerian Constitution supersedes every traditional ruler by Constitution. And the governor of the state is the chief security officer and the custodian of the Constitution in that state. And so his office is higher. Though traditionally and culturally, when he visits any of the traditional rulers in their palace, he will prostrate and respect them in their palace, because you cannot senior a chief priest in the front of a shrine. Okay, so what happens? That is what happens. But when it comes to government functionaries, the governor is the head by constitution and should be accorded that same respect. And I was told, or I learned, that what caused all this is because it has come to Obasanjo's knowledge before now that traditional rulers in the state were not respecting the governor, probably because they think he's a young man and they senior him or whatever. But they can't do that to other governors. That is the truth. So that is where we are in that matter. Obasanjo has come out to say nobody speaks for him. Miss Martins is not a member of his family and cannot speak for him, and he didn't delegate her to speak for him. And he's not changing his position that the governor is the most senior person in the state and should be given that respect, and that office should not be derided. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.